When I was at school, I didn't really think about what the future might look like. I could never have imagined a future classroom dominated by computers, connected and collaborative learning in the world literally at your fingertips. This has been an era of discovery and invention, great design, and endless possibilities. But the world is also damaged, wars and conflicts abound, environmental disasters, and a growing digital divide. We can learn from the past and use this to map what the future could look like. As educators teaching tomorrow's generation of workers, we must debate our perceptions of the future to visualize the possibilities that may lie ahead. In Ayatollah et al. Talk about having a vision of the future rather than a set-out roadmap. We need to consider unique possibilities that change the direction of reality. Some aspects of the future can be considered based on current trends and developments in globalization and technology advancements such as virtual reality or artificial intelligence. But it is about being open to a range of alternative futures and possibilities rather than a single one future ahead of us. At the heart of these alternative futures lies creativity. Creativity is important in education now as the literacies that dominate our classroom practices, and Ken Robinson says we should treat it with the same status. At the heart of creativity is play and experimentation. In Google's 20% time, some of the innovative ideas of the 21st century were developed here, like Gmail and AdSense, where designers and entrepreneurs were left without boundaries to play with the possibilities and what-ifs. You only need to watch youngsters play Minecraft, and you can see how this social aspect of play builds far more than simply skills and creativity. In order to answer the question, what role will creativity and play have in the future of education, I've investigated recent research into education and digital technology, including the Horizon Report, Harvard's Project Zero, Sir Ken Robinson and Lego's Future of Play, and the writings of Anna Kraft, Ayatollah, and Kerry Facer. In the 2017 Horizon Report, makerspaces and STEAM are amongst the recommendations for schools to adopt in the next 1 to 2 years. Both are key areas for innovation and integration of the arts, but also opportunities for students to work in multi- and interdisciplinary learning. Schools need to find ways to embrace creativity across the curriculum to better prepare students for an unknown future. We need to help them learn how to learn and to become more adept at thinking critically and creatively. The Horizon Report talks about planning for a future by looking back at trends and developments, but we also need to build capacity to look forward at possibilities and alternative futures. When you think of the subject of visual art, one automatically assumes it goes hand in hand with creativity. This assumption is often applied solely to the arts and that creativity or creative thinking is not relevant to the rest of the curriculum. However, creative thinking is now one of the top 3 skills needed to prepare students for the future, according to the World Economic Forum, and it champions the need for such a skill or competency to be embedded across the curriculum. So, what is creativity and what does it mean to be creative? The Oxford Dictionary describes creativity as the use of imagination or original ideas to create something, inventiveness. But John Spencer explains that we need a bigger definition of creativity. He says that it is inherent in all of us, not just the artists, poets, or musicians, and he compels us to appreciate the creativity all around us so that we can see the creativity inside us. Following drawing my own mind map, I asked a range of educators and students what creativity is. We can see that it's about developing new ideas, playing, experimenting, and having fun in the process of searching for solutions to problems. Artists have always pushed the boundaries of creativity. Da Vinci was a prolific innovator, experimenting with every conceivable idea, resulting in creations way ahead of his time. Pioneers like Picasso, Warhol, Emin, Whiteread, and Ai Weiwei have changed how artists perceived or produced. Their innovation drove art forward. An artist's approach is rooted in experimenting, playing with ideas, materials, and combination, and so this playfulness is an important element in creating something new. Picasso said, "All children are born artists. The problem is to remain an artist as we grow up." In kindergarten, play is a huge part of their cognitive and social development, and it's also a time to experiment and learn about the world around them. Young children are particularly good at inventing new ideas. Ken Robinson talks about kindergarten children already being at genius level and acknowledges the extraordinary capacities that children have, their capacities for innovation. But something happens between ages 11 and 14 that seems to halt this creative freeness natural in our younger selves. As students rise through the education system, creativity seems pushed out as the arts become an option and academics take over. As we complete school and enter the adult world, often creative thinking and playfulness is being left far behind. When asking students and adults about the distinction between games and creative play, there do not seem to be many differences apart from gaming is a common pastime and art is not. Perhaps one of the futures of art is the melding of games and gaming culture with graphic design, imaginative thinking, storytelling and art through immersive or virtual worlds. The future will require innovation and creative thinkers to help solve world issues and problems such as overpopulation, climate change, pollution or conflict. Continuing to embed creative thinking and purposeful play across the curriculum will help to build a future workforce of innovative individuals such as Boyan Slat or Emma Yang, both of whom were in their teens when they developed their imaginative ideas. Being aware of our world around, our culture and context, is crucial when understanding creativity and educational futures. I have taught in the UK, Italy, Ghana, and currently in Singapore in a large international school. We have incredible facilities for learning, one-to-one laptops, innovative spaces, collaborative teams of educators and a cohort of kids who want to learn. Our students embrace technology, yet love the hands-on nature of art, giving them respite from their always plugged-in technology. But art is not a subject that can shy away from the future of education. Perhaps it can be one to lead the future. Students are learning that in order to be prepared for an unknown future, they should be both consumers and creators online. My research led me to spin off into the realm of play and playfulness, as I believe being playful, just like at Google, we can open up ideas and creativity. Anna Kraft talks about developing collaborative creativity in online playful contexts, and Minecraft is a great example of how successful and versatile such a space can be in combining learning and play creatively. In contrast to education in the UK and much of the rest of the world, Finland has a culture of play at the heart of their education, and this is having a remarkable effect on their learning, both now and as they go through high school, outperforming students around the world. Because play is self-directed, intrinsically motivated, and freely chosen, it builds the foundation for a lifetime of learning. Through experimenting and choice, children build skills in higher-order thinking, problem-solving and creativity. Moreover, through play, children develop skills in emotional intelligence, crucial for future workplace integration and relationships. As digital devices and apps become a natural part of our daily lives, and communication and connections more online, how might the future of art education look? Using Anna Kraft's educational futures model, probable futures for art may entail addressing digital futures and moving from a traditional materials-based lesson to more digital or tablet. A possible future of art could be where both formal and emerging art forms are taught to complement each other, and a preferable future would see a seamless integration of technology alongside traditional skills, with personal choice at the heart of learning. This view of art may not be every art education's ideal, yet we must move the curriculum forward to ensure it's not pushed out as a subject and that it remains relevant in a future digital world. Whatever the future of art education, play must still form a central part. But possible negative futures may still see art squeezed out, as we read just this week on the BBC, where again art's time or resources are being cut. A shocking 9 out of 10 schools said they had cut back on lesson time, staff or facilities in at least one creative arts subject. What future will this leave for our students? Until schools and the government recognise the importance of the arts, the future looks bleak. In Southeast Asia, I am surrounded by positive possibilities, and despite the culture's traditional push for high-achieving academic students, the arts are respected and thriving. At a recent exhibition, artists embrace new technologies, and exhibitions are evolving in the way we interact with art. Art can show possible futures through their work, yet also integrate technology with traditional materials. Emerging possibilities for art, such as the work of Turkish artist Budonolu, integrates art and music with technology in his interactive sculpture of steel, Raspberry Pi, and custom software made specifically for the viewer to play with. Even though Anna Craft's work centres mostly around primary contexts, play is equally important at any age. A possible future, therefore, for art in education is of immersive art or installations. Japanese innovators Team Lab build spaces to walk through, interact and play with, and adults and children interact side by side, each with the same abandonment of childhood. How could we teach this in the classroom? How can we feed the hearts and minds of our students to be more creative with ideas and build on their playfulness? With the integration of more digital methods and spaces, will traditional art be slowly phased out and discarded? Will art lose its value and uniqueness with remix? Will traditional art become something kids crave for in order to get their hands dirty? Or will art simply evolve as technology does and embrace the new whilst honouring its roots? Robinson recognised that schools need to ensure subjects are useful for work. Schools need to place more value on creativity to develop the workforce that will be needed in the future to develop innovative solutions far more relevant than academic success. He urges us to use our gift of human imagination and to build on this capacity in our students to educate their whole being so they can face this future.